Hello friends, it's Jayma Malme here, and today I'm going to be putting together these two cards from Close to My Heart's new Cut Above card kit. But you know me, I have to step up these kits. So I'm going to be showing you how to put them together as designed, which is very, very cute and very quick and simple. But then I'm going to show you a couple of ways for each design to step them up. So I got the entire kit that comes with the stamp set. So there was that stamp set that had really cute sentiments. You can get this kit with or without that, but I really liked the sentiments in it, and so decided to add that. And then all of these pieces that can be popped out are going to be used on the cards. So this is paperboard, so it's not quite as heavy as chipboard, but it's heavier than a cardstock. So I am going to go and pop all of these out before I even start. It does take a bit of time. It probably took me about probably 30 minutes to prep everything before I started. So all of these pieces are the ornaments. So some of the ornaments are printed on the base of the card, and then some of them are going to be added to add a little bit of dimension, which is nice. So those are all the pieces that come, and then that backer piece was like a piece of thin cardboard to keep everything sturdy. So I'm going through and popping all of these little ornaments out. The ones on the top, the green ones, go to the slimline card as part of the tree, and the ones on the bottom are going to be the ornaments for the A2 size card. So these all pop up pretty quickly, and now I'm just going to separate these so that I have all of the green ones together and all of the ornaments together. I probably should have done a little bit better job of keeping those separate as I was popping them out, but I was just trying to be really quick. So I went ahead and popped just about everything out. Those little tiny black pieces are the apostrophe for seasons, greetings, and a dot to the I. For these small little red glitter pieces, I wanted to show you how I was popping those out. It was easiest, I found, to use my tweezers. You could use a piercing tool or scissors or something that's small that can kind of hold those down and pop them out while you're holding it close to your surface. So this is just how I did it, and it worked well, but you might find a way that works better for you. So once I got all of those popped out, I was done popping everything out. So here's a look at the Merry Christmas, all of that pretty scarlet glitter paper. And then there was a little piece, this corner piece right here, that didn't have any die cuts on it. So I saved that, and I can use it to die cut something out of. Now we're taking all of those green pieces. There's 5 green circles for each of these slimline cards, and I'm putting just a little bit of thin 3D foam tape behind each one just to add a little bit of dimension, but not too much dimension. I love the thin 3D foam tape, and I'm going to add those. I'm following the directions. I have the picture right up in front of me, and with all of these pieces already popped out, it's really easy to follow along. I realize that this one here is going to be overlapped with a sentiment, so I didn't want that on 3D foam tape. I just stuck that down with my tape runner. And now for this Merry Christmas, it's so pretty. I love the little whimsical look of it. I'm going to use some Barely Art glue. I was at my friend's house and I was borrowing her Barely Art glue, and she puts them in these little small bottles, which I thought was pretty handy. And I love the Barely Art glue because if it oozes out, it is clear and it is not tacky. So that is pretty much what I use for little skinny things like this. That looks so pretty. But you know what? I'm really thinking that the sentiment is not popping enough. The red is pretty dark. It's scarlet on top of that dark black background. I'm going to continue putting this one together as designed, but I'm going to change it on the next version. So we've got that down, and now let's add our star. There's these silver glitter paper stars, and I'm going to add some thin 3D foam to that as well, so it adds a little bit of pop there. So pretty. And then there's all of these little glitter paper circles to be smaller sparkly ornaments on the tree, and they look so pretty. So I'm just adding little tiny dots of glue to all of the spots as I'm following the picture where they have these little ornaments. And then this is a pickup tool. It is a wax end, and it is so handy for stuff like this. And it, unlike other pickup tools that I have seen on the market and have tried many of them, this one's nice because you can just sharpen it when it starts losing its stick. So we'll get these last few on, and then let's look at this close up. It looks so, so pretty. And then let's go ahead and put together card number 2. This one is so fast to put together. So I'm going to add these little toppers first. I found it was easiest to start with those because they're going to be glued down flat to the card base, and then we're popping up the ornaments, so I want to put those on after. So it was kind of a guessing game because those hang down a little bit from the faux string, that printed string. So I kind of eyeballed it to see how far I need my little dot of glue. I could have put the dot of glue on the back of the ornament toppers, but I thought it was faster to add them to the card base first, and then I could just go through and add all the toppers. That worked out pretty well. And then we'll go through and add all of our little ornaments. I already have the thin 3D foam tape on them. So super, super quick, as you can see. There are a couple of them where you have to put them a certain way, otherwise the round of the ornament doesn't look quite right, although it probably nobody would notice if you do get them upside down. Now here are those paperboard pieces, and be careful not to lose your apostrophes and dots to the eye. I did lose one set. I'm not sure how that happened because I was trying to be so careful. You might want to put them in like a little container. I just had mine on my little cardboard that's next to me, but I just added the apostrophe and a dot with a journal pen, and it looked okay. You could kind of tell. They definitely look better with the paperboard. So I just added a tiny little dot of glue where each of those should go, and added those, and here's a look at that one as is. But let's step these up just a notch because you know me, I just have to. So for this first card, I am going to ink around the edges of each of the ornaments with Jade ink. You could probably get away with green apple, or if you have topiary, which is an older color, or another similar green. This does take an extra little step, a little bit of extra time, but I think it does add a lot of extra pop. And then I'll go ahead and put them on with the thin 3D foam tape, just like I did the other card. Now, here is where I'm changing up the sentiment. I have this Mary die, which is a new die coming out November 1st, and I am cutting that out of scarlet glitter paper. That's the same exact glitter paper that the pre-cut die cuts are cut out of, so it matches perfectly. And it's a little bit smaller, but what this will also allow me to do is add a backer of white behind it. So I'm layering 2 scraps of white cardstock together, and then I'm going to cut that with the same Mary die. So it's going to be 2 pieces of cardstock tall, and we'll run that through the little Sidekick die cut machine. This thing is so handy when you have little small dies that you want to use just right on your desk. So now this is too thick, and it's going to give us a little bit of dimension to add our scarlet piece on top of. And it's already stuck together because I glued those 2 pieces together before we ran it through. That was a pretty good time saver, so you don't have to use the liquid glue to glue it on. So now I'm going to take my Barely Art glue again and get a little bit of glue on the back of this, and then I'm going to add it just offset a little bit, so it adds like a drop shadow to our scarlet piece, and it's gonna pop a little bit more off of that background. I think that that makes a big difference, and I also like that it's a smaller sentiment. It gives a little bit more breathing room down there. But don't worry, I'm not getting rid of those other sentiments. Now I'm going to do this card exactly the same, but I'm going to add some splatters. I did some tests here. We've got this, I think it's called Yuli watercolors that are super sparkly. These are my friends. Again, I was using some of her stuff. I have the alcohol mixative in silver from Tim Holtz. That's right here. And then I had the Tim Holtz Mica spray in silver, or actually it was called pewter. And then I also used this silver from this set of metallic watercolor paints. So I tested those on black since my background is pretty much black, and these splatters turn up different on a darker background. So these sparkly watercolors, the Yuli, are so super sparkly. I decided to use the mixative though, and I just dropped it into that little container you see there and used my paintbrush to flick it. And I did like that. And then I did a version with the super sparkly watercolors as well. I'll show you that at the end. But now let's take this up a couple more notches. I cut my card base in half. So now we have that back of my card base that's left over for another card. And then I also cut the front of the card down by 1/4 of an inch and then cut a background out of Jade cardstock. I inked around the edges of that Jade cardstock with Jade ink. And now on this one, I am inking around the edges with black ink. But I'm not just going around the edges, I'm also going heavy-handed around the corners because I want to give it this kind of vignette look. I have plenty of room in the corners, and I think that that really helps to draw your eye to the focal image, that really pretty Christmas tree that we're going to make sparkle and shine even more. So here we go. Here is my finished card. I did everything else pretty much the same, so I didn't show you the whole process. But instead of adding the glitter paper circles, I added these red glitter gems from Pink Fresh Studio, and they are so super sparkly and pretty. All right, let's take a look at these finished cards. Here is the first one as designed. I didn't change anything. Very, very cute, but let's take it up a notch. So this is the second one I made, and I switched out the Merry Christmas down here for this Merry die. Also, once I was finished on camera, I added the inking around this one. On this particular one, I hadn't added the inking around it, but I thought, you know what, that is an easy way to step it up, and I'll probably go back and do it to this one as well. And then here is taking it up a little notch by adding some splatters. Now this was the mixative, which is what I thought I liked the best, but once it all dried, I didn't like it so much anymore, and it kind of smears. So it looked a little bit different on that really dark black sample versus this kind of chalkboard black. And so I ended up not liking that. So I'll show you my favorite version of splatters here in just a moment. This is that super, super sparkly, glittery watercolor paint, the Yuli, I think it's called. And so hopefully some of it is catching on camera. It is very, very glittery, super sparkly. And it was pretty, but not my favorite. It was a little bit too bright for the look I was going for. So this is what my favorite ended up being, and for the splatters I used the Distress Mica spray. This is what it looks like in the brush pewter. I have been obsessed with this stuff, and the mica gets collected on the bottom. It is a clear liquid with a colored, pewter colored mica. There's a ball in there. You just need to make sure you shake it like this, not up and down, but shake it like this. Tim Holtz says like a bell. And that works really well until all of the mica's out. And then instead of spraying this does a really good job at not getting clogged. But I unscrewed it and then tapped it with the straw to get these type of splatters. It works beautifully as a spray as well. In fact, I'm teaching a class on that in the 31 Days of Christmas cards coming up using sprays, but it works well for this as well. So I did most of my cards like that. And then this has those glitter gems. They are from Pink Fresh Studio. I got them at scrapbook.com. They've been out of stock for a little bit, so I'll link them just in case they come back. But they are not sticky back. They are just a loose gem, and they're so glittery and sparkly. All right, now let's look at this one. This was my favorite way to decorate it. I just did it very simple. I added some little bitty sparkles from Close to My Heart. Just one in the center of each of these little snowflakes, and then a few here in the middle, and then a few here. There was another version right here where I added a lot of bitty sparkles. I felt like I needed them at first on all of them, but I didn't like it. I liked it more like this. So, and this went through through my supply of bitty sparkles really fast. So I did one kind of on all of the little ups and downs of that squiggly line, and then on this one too, and on all of the little stars on here. So there's a lot of bling. It's a little bit much. I think that this version gives just the right touch of bling without depleting your supply. And then this one, I added a little bit of the mica splatters. I don't think the splatters do as much for this design as it does for the other one. So I didn't do it in my favorite version. So this, I also cut down my card background or my card base. So this was printed on the back as well. So now I have this pattern to use for another card, and I actually used it on this next option. And then I matted it in black. And I really think that that makes the sentiment and all of these little black things really pop. I think it really helps to ground everything and looks really, really pretty. So again, they're all pretty. It just depends on how much time you want to put into it. These steps really didn't add a whole lot of time. It added a little bit of extra supplies that I already had. But then, like I said, I am not going to waste these Merry Christmases. I will use them on another project. This one uses the extra ornaments that I had. So there are 5 extra ornaments that come on that sheet, probably because they just don't want to waste any of that extra room that they had on the 12 by 12 sheet that had all of these pop outs. So I made another card with them, and I used a little ornament topper from another stamp set that's brand new. So here's a look at that one. It's right here. It's the Silver Bells Card Making Workshop stamp set. This is a really, really amazing stamp set. I've already used this in the 31 Days of Christmas cards that has been going on. Andrea has used it so far in the 31 Days of Christmas cards. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards that have been made with that. That'll be available on November 1st. And if you're curious about the 31 Days of Christmas cards, we will be reopening for the replay on November 1st. So I'll have details for that down below. But anyways, here is how I used that. And then all of the other Merry Christmases, I didn't want to lose anything, so I already mounted them on a couple of them on French Vanilla, which is what this is on, and then a bunch of them on white, and I will be using these for other cards. And as you can see, they stand out a lot better on that white background. So I hope that you enjoyed looking at how I stepped these cards up, and that gives you some ideas of how you can do the same. If you're looking for more Christmas inspiration, check out this December daily video that I have on screen right now, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming December daily projects coming soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.